Hey y'all, I just came in to talk about the travesty that we had last night. I don't even know. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. I'm trying something a little different. But y'all, I watched the debate, and all I have to say is that this man is crazier than what I ever believed that he could possibly be. Um, all that yelling, and I'm not going to be on here a long time, but I just wanted to talk about what we saw. First of all, if I was Biden, I wouldn't debate him again because he is out of control. He didn't let him talk. He talked over everything. He didn't um, allow him to even complete an answer. So it wasn't like we were having a debate. It was almost like we had a session where he was like airing all his gripes or something. And it was just ridiculous. Also, I do not even feel like the guy that was running everything controlled him. There were so many things that occurred with that it was embarrassing, y'all. It was just simply embarrassing. And the most embarrassing thing about this is that y'all got to think we have people from other countries that have a vested interest in what goes on in the United States. So they are watching this. And I know that Americans don't, really feel like the rest of the world really matters. But when you think about it, we're not the only country in the world. And imagine people who are living in other countries, Americans who are actually living in other countries. Can you imagine what it's like to be them now? Can y'all even just imagine? I'm just going to start from where he started. The one thing of the whole night that really bothered me is when Biden went to talk about his son, the one that died. Okay, y'all know Trump has said that uh, any military person who died or fought in the world like they were suckers and all of that stuff. Now y'all got to think that Biden's son died of cancer and he served. So when Biden went to say that and he cut him off, because right in the middle of Biden saying, my son, served in the military, he got an honorable discharge and blah, blah, blah. And Trump said something like, well, which one are you talking about? Um, oh, hello, Lonnie. Okay. Hey, I can't even see the chat. I hope I'm doing this right. But when he went to say that and Trump cut him off, was like, well, which one are you talking about? Hunter, I think one of his son's name is Hunter. That's the one that was on drugs. And I'm going to talk about that. But it was the one that died. When he cut him off, that bothered me because he couldn't even swallow his pride long enough to say, you know what, I thank your son for his service. I'm so sorry about him passing. That shows a lack of humanity. And then when he switched to talking about the Biden son that is alive, the one that's on drugs or had been on drugs and is now clean. And Biden had to stop and say, yes, my son was on drugs. I'm, grateful that he was able to get himself off. That's the average parent, in America. There's a lot of people out here whose kids are dealing with drug issues. So when Trump brought that up, I just thought it was a really low blow. And for me, I was done after that. I also like y'all when Biden kept on calling him this clown. That shit was funny to me. I was rolling. And a lot of people said that they didn't feel like Biden was hitting back hard enough, that he should have been this and he should have been that. You know what? I don't agree with that. And here's why. Because we got a hard hitter in the White House now, calling people names, Pocahontas. He can't even say Hillary's, name without a little title above her. Everybody has a name, a nickname. We need a grown up in the White House because you got this fool who has been in the White House for 4 years. And y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something. Every freaking day, or at least every other day, this man is involved in something. Do y'all know that we've been dealing with him, what, 3.5 years? Don't it seem like every time you turn around, some crazy shit is happening with him? Aren't y'all tired? Because I know that I am sick of him. Then, y'all, the kicker, and I'm going to be all over the place because I'm just talking as I remember stuff. Do y'all know what he said to that white, far extremist, racist group? He told them to stand back, but stand by. Okay. So he would not denounce, these white supremacists who are going around, with weapons and all that. Now, what's funny is let some brothers gather together with military style rifles, show up in anywhere in a crowd of any more than two, because with brothers, if it's more than two, it's going to be a problem. They're going to kill them and say they fear for their lives. But he basically told them, get ready, be set on election day, telling them to go to the polls and all of this stuff. That shit is crazy, y'all. And look, where I live at, I don't know what state y'all in, but Ohio, I live in Ohio, and we are a red state, which I don't know why with these poor y'all, and I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna be cussing in this, and I hope the people that are watching are not some of my religious friends who don't, get down with all that cussing. But fuck that, y'all. Here in Ohio, there are in Southern Ohio, it's a lot of Trump country, y'all. We are a red state. I don't know why we red, because these poor, toothless, trailer park living, crazy white people, that's the reason why. And the sad part about it is everything that he's doing affects them. It's like they too twisted, or they've been so inbred that they don't get that all of this stuff that he's doing that they think are affecting us as black people. Hell, we got jobs, you know. Like I might not be making, uh, you know, top dollar like him, like he allegedly. And we're gonna talk about Trump and his fucking taxes too, y'all. But I'm not sitting somewhere living in a double wide and all of that. And y'all, I've worked for Medicaid, and I'm here to tell you that the myth that it's a lot of black folk on, that is more black folk on Medicaid than it is white, is just that, a myth. And here's why. Just by virtue that it's more of them in the country, it's more of them on Medicaid. So everything that Trump is doing to hurt who he believes is the, the lower class, is hurting his people, his supporters. And y'all, okay, like I said, I'm gonna be all over. Let's talk about this bass. So y'all mean to tell me, here I am, just an average black working woman, and I paid more taxes than Trump, who is supposed to be a freaking billionaire. And then think about this, y'all. They said that not only does he owe like $427 million, that he got a fucking refund for $75 million. Now y'all know how we get our little refunds. Y'all, the first year that I ever got like a several thousand. Now I've never gotten those big refunds that a lot of people get, six, seven, $8,000. I got friends that have literally gotten refunds that were $8,000. One year in all of my adult life, I got a refund of $4,000. Y'all, even when I had a tax preparer do it for me, so even when he got done and he told me, okay, this is the amount that you're going to get, you know what I told him? Could you do that over? Because I've been growing a long time and I ain't never got no $4,000. So he did it over and he was like, yeah, you're going to get $4,000. This is right. We have everything. Trump got a $75 million tax return. That's why he's being audited, because the IRS is saying the shit that you put on your taxes that year that we gave you that refund, you lied about. Like on that particular tax year, that's the year that he put, y'all get this, he spent $70,000 on his hair. I wish that I knew all of y'all. Y'all could follow me on Facebook and y'all see this picture that I put up on Facebook of a fucking chicken because it's a rooster or something. His punk ass is not paying no $70,000 a year. Now he said this is why while he was on The Apprentice that he used $70,000 for his hair. He also gave his daughter wife, y'all hear what I call her, daughter wife, because she's actually his wife. He slipped her some money that he didn't want to declare to the to the IRS, gave it to her, and then she declared it on her taxes some kind of way. Just put it this way: while he was standing up there trying to talk about Biden's kids, Biden did say, and I think Trump cut him off. You want to talk about kids? Do you want to talk about kids? Because Trump kept throwing this thing that Biden's other son got some money from some uh y'all, it's so much I don't remember everything, but y'all know we black folks, so we gonna speak on it on the way we speak on it. All I know is Hunter allegedly was supposed to have gotten some money from this other country. But what I would have said if I was Biden, I would have been like, are you talking about trying to accuse my son of something? Let's start at the top with you. And I would have ran down every fucking thing that our crooked thing that Trump has done. If I was Biden, even though Trump was talking over me, y'all know in an argument, he don't have to talk louder. Just keep talking. Don't stop. That's the only thing that Biden did that bothered me. I would have kept talking. But then again, I did like when Biden kept turning to him and was like, he don't know how to shut up. This is who we got. This clown, this. I like when Biden was hitting him with that. Now let me tell y'all something about Trump that if you ever raise kids, if you are the parent of an adult child and you are at the point in your life where you have the luxury of looking back over when you were raising them, the mistakes you made and the good things that you made. When I, as a parent of an adult child, look at Trump, this is what I say for his parents. Whoever raised him, they did a fucked up job. When I was raising my kids, I taught them about sometimes just doing stuff, not because somebody's going to pay you, just because it feels good. And I remember my son used to say stuff like, well, it don't feel all that good. I'd like to be paid for cutting these people's grass and it's 92 degrees. And I would tell him, she's an old lady, Scott. You got a grandmother, go ahead and cut that lady's grass. I'll buy you some McDonald's or something, but go cut the lady's grass for her because she an old lady and we don't want to see her stressed out, trying to cut the grass. She's stressed out in the yard, done had a heart attack. They didn't teach him anything about empathy, being a good person, being just, he's trashy. He's like a spoiled little boy that always got his way. They never reprimanded him. You're not going to tell me that they did right by him when they were raising him because you don't get this type of adult. The world didn't do this to him. He started out like that. Proof of it is, you remember when he keeps on saying that his father gave him a small loan for, I think his father gave him like $400 million. Do you know for us how long that would last? If we, careful as we are with our money and knowing how to pinch pennies and shit, it will last us for the rest of our lives. I'm going to say again, y'all, because I'm not going to be on here long. If I was Biden, I would refuse to debate him again. Now, I know in Trump's head, if Biden does that, then it's going to be like Biden is scared and Trump is going to think that he's won. It's not that. There was no civility there. That wasn't a debate. Debate is, I talk for my 2 minutes, you shut your fucking mouth and let me talk. Then you talk, I shut my fucking mouth and you talk. Either they're going to have to do this. If they debate again, the moderator, and they need a different moderator, y'all. The moderator is going to have a silence button where he can cut off their mic. Trump looked sniffy, sweaty, orangey, greasy. I cannot stand him. Let me tell y'all something. I have seriously considered, and I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy because people say this all the time and they be talking shit and all that. I have seriously considered if he win moving to Canada. And let me tell you why I said Canada, because you can drive to it and I come home, drive home if stuff ain't right. But I have seriously considered if he get another 4 years, just moving there for 4 years and then coming back. Because if it's bad now, think of all the shit that this man has riled up, done, been accused of. Y'all forget the bitch has been impeached. He actually is impeached. So think about if he got another 4 years. Do you know what that would say to his ego? And then what we would go through? Because the thing is, under him, these white folks are getting emboldened. Now, what I keep putting everywhere that I go on social media where white people are talking shit, I put on there, we are not our fucking parents. You fuck with us and we gonna fuck you up. We are not our parents. We will die fucking you up. See, the difference between us and our parents, back in the day, they had to go through the civil rights era, and pre-civil rights era, they had to kind of bow their heads and all that. We don't have to do that, y'all. If a white person, a Karen, come up to me fucking with me, we gonna have to go at it. Y'all, I ain't even 5 feet, but I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm gonna fight for every fucking slave that is buried somewhere in the United States. I'll be damned, y'all. I'll be damned. He got these, as my aunt would say, some of my bitches thinking that we back in 1820, not 2020, and that they could just walk up to us, say little shit, do little shit. They gonna fuck around and get fucked up, because the average black person is not gonna stand for that. You are not gonna be standing somewhere calling me all kind of n words and um porch monkeys and all the shit they be calling me. You're not gonna do that, and especially not in this day and age. We're not taking it, y'all. Then, when they tried to even back him in a corner and say, do you denounce whoever these Proud Boys or whoever these white supremacists? Um, he was like, well, who do you want me to denounce? Just tell me who. He didn't. That's not sincere to me. Like him or hate him or think he's slow or whatever. Think about it. We got parents Biden's age. Are we packing them up and sending them off to a loony bin? He's a little slower, a little grayer, but this man has been around for a while. And one thing, I may not agree with everything every Democrat does, but one thing that I like about Biden is because he has been through so much, because he grew up like we did in a normal neighborhood with parents with normal jobs, and he doesn't know about growing up rich. He has the he can be empathetic. He understands when you're struggling. One parent maybe lost their job, y'all eating beans and cornbread. He understands that. He understands I am the only child in my family that has ever gone to college. So he understands student loans fucking you up where you don't get your return the next year because you done defaulted on your student loan. He understands that. So because Trump grew up rich, he does not, like Biden said, he does not even relate to us, to the average person. He's living in a freaking bubble, him and his fucking entitled kids. Y'all, when he used to have an apprentice, I remember watching it because I think I only watched one season, maybe two, because after that I get bored with stuff easily. I never watched it again. But let me tell y'all what I used to think. Sitting there because he was playing a role. They said that when he was on The Apprentice, when he went to The Apprentice, he pretty much was about to file bankruptcy then, but getting that gig with The Apprentice, playing a rich guy because he really wasn't, made him rich. But when I used to sit there, I used to think that he had well behaved kids and that they were, professional and decent and all that. I'm going to tell y'all this. After all this is over, they're going to have to change their names because ain't nobody gonna fuck with them. The biggest mistake this bastard ever made was running for president and winning. Because when he get out of office, who's gonna want the Trump name on their building? Y'all, Ivanka's husband, that damn antichrist. Do y'all know that his building's address is 666? Now, I always tell y'all that I don't believe in conspiracy theories and I try to not believe in, stuff that I can't prove. But to me, evil follows all of them. The son-in-law, an evil bastard. Ivanka, that y'all, I gotta quit cussing. But all of them are crooked. They have lied, cheated, stolen their way to where they are. They're not like what's the guy that's the head of Facebook, Zuckerberg, who had an idea. Him and his friend. Now Zuckerberg did cheat his friend out of the business, but they had an idea. And being tech savvy young men, they came up with this idea of Facebook, and look where it took him. Even to the guy that Dell Computers, Michael Dell, he's around my age. He had an idea when he was in college. He dropped out of college and said, I believe in it. Those are self-made, not somebody gave them $400 million. That's if somebody gave you $400 million, your punk ass is not self-made. You got a hell of a hand up. I'm gonna tell y'all this and then I'm gonna get out of here. I cannot wait to watch the debate with Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris with the vice president. But you know what's funny, y'all? Because she's so good at questioning people and catching people up, I wish she could have debated Trump. Because first of all, whether y'all believe it or not, she got a little black in her. She's been a prosecutor and she has an attitude with him already. Can y'all imagine if that sister would have got up there and she could have debated him? I don't think I think Trump would have been so flustered because she would have caught him all up and she wouldn't have never stopped talking. First of all, she a woman. Y'all know in an argument, we not gonna let him have the last word. Y'all know we're not. And then by her being a seasoned prosecutor who's used to questioning people and thinking while she's speaking, Trump basically, I believe he probably reads on a 6th to 7th grade level. Um, he even when he was doing the debate, y'all, last night, didn't he just kept rehashing the same shit we saw in those twisted press conference conferences that he was doing when he was doing the COVID shit? It was the same shit. Okay, and then when it gets to COVID, at least Biden had an idea. Let's do this. Maybe we should do that. Uh, pay attention to science, make it a national thing where we all wear masks. The reason why this shit is running rampant is because Trump's simple ass told people early on. And one thing I will say about Black people, and this is why I love my people, y'all. You tell us now. I'm not gonna say all of us are wearing masks, but don't tell us it's shit out here. We will mask up. I'm gonna tell y'all when I go to the stores and if I see anyone who does not have on a mask, it's not nobody Black. Every Black person that I see has on a mask because we scared of shit like this. Y'all know we don't fuck around when it comes to you will say what they say going around. Go get my mask. We'll have we'll have a mask with eyelashes on it, lipstick. Me and my girls, we just were having a debate about we miss wearing our lipstick because you can't wear your lipstick with a mask. My one friend was like, "Bump that! I'm about to order me some masks that got different shades of lipstick to match with what I'm wearing." But them white people, when he told them early back in March that it's not real, that it's a hoax, that masks don't work, they believe that shit, y'all. I went to Walmart a couple weeks ago, and the Walmart near where I live at, this they count you when you come in. They're still doing that. They literally have someone standing there with an iPad or one of those little devices young people have. And as you're coming in, they don't stop you from coming in, but they'll slow you down and they'll say something like, "We gotta let a few more people come out," because it's always someone going in and coming out of Walmart. So you never stand there more than a few seconds, but literally they count you. Well, it was time for I was standing there behind this white couple, and they did not have on masks. And it's clearly signs all over this Walmart that say you must have on a mask. So when I walked away, they were starting to get in an argument with the little young lady. This little girl looked like she could be no more than 17. The little Walmart worker, they were arguing with this child. And I'm sitting here thinking, this little girl probably working for the summer to help pay for school clothes or school supplies. Why are you arguing with her? She's not controlling what Walmart's policy is. She's just an employee enforcing what her boss is telling her to do. So I had went to walk away in the store because they went on in. They disregarded what she said and they went on in. And I had walked over to the vegetable section, y'all, and I was still at the front of the store. So I said, you know what? Let me walk back out here. So I went back out there because I was thinking, like, if this was my daughter, because my kids worked when they were teenagers. So I went back out there and I said to her, I said, look, if you ask them to wear a mask and they say no, don't argue with them. I said, because these white people are carrying weapons. They're crazy. They flip out because this man got them all, you know, trumped up. You're black. And I said, what you do is you ask them if they act like they're not going to wear it, say, fuck it. I said, you got this little iPad or whatever it is that you have. Text your boss, whatever. I am them, message them, say it's two white people walking around the store. I wasn't about to get killed trying to ask them, or fucked up trying to ask them to put on a mask. So they're walking around the store. I'm 17. I'm just trying to get school supplies and some fucking school clothes. I'm not about to lose my life fucking with these white people because it's them. It's not so much us. You'll see every once in a while a video on YouTube or something where a black person is in a store and they're freaking out, but it's mostly them because I think what it is, the reason why we're taking it serious, y'all, is because we got friends who got a friend who had it. At first, when this first came out, I didn't know anybody that had it. Like I might have heard of somebody's friend, cousin, brother, uncle have it. But what's happening, y'all, is it's starting to affect family members, friends. My one of my friends told me that her son works at a hospital and they had a scare that he went to work and he you know how when you go to work now they're taking your temperature, and they took his temperature. He's a young man, early 20s, and they sent him home. And they made him get a COVID test, and until his results came back, she had to put her baby down the basement. He's like, if my daughter is 25, he's about 23 years old. So her and her husband told him once he came home, wait a minute, what? They sent you home for work because you had a temperature of 102. So they put him down the basement for a week. And the funny thing about it is, by him being young, I guess he didn't pay attention to all of the instructions about how to call back and get your results and everything. He was waiting for them to call him. So what my friend said is, after a few days had gone by and with no, him coming up from the basement saying, well, I got my results back. Her husband went to the top of the stairs and said, did they give you some take home papers where it tells you to call back or something? So you know how young people is. He like, especially young man, he was like, Dad, hold on, let me go look. So he goes down the basement, gets the papers that they gave him, and they noticed he had stayed down there for a while. So they said they had told him, you can come to the top of the stairs, but you can't come in the kitchen. Now look what they had to do to their baby. So they said they were sitting in the living room pretty much, and basically the basement door opened up and they heard him walking, and they was like, "Oh shit!" But when he turned the corner, he was smiling, and he said, "Well, you know what, Dad, you were right. I was supposed to call this number, and they were going to give me my results." So he had been sitting for a few days, not knowing that he was negative, and parents not letting him come upstairs. And so that's why I believe as Black people that we're taking this serious, because as the CDC is saying, it's us, because we are on the front lines. A lot of us working in hospitals and driving buses, and we're delivery men. Like right now, my son drives for FedEx, so he's out there in the public every day. And before that, I believe he worked as a second job as a restaurant. So a lot of us are out there in direct contact, and that's why we're getting it. That's why a lot of us are dying. But I also believe that that's why we are taking it serious. Honestly, y'all, I don't know what's up with some of these white people. I don't know. I'm just gonna say this: ain't nothing you can tell Rachel. If I heard that there's a disease out here that's killing people, it's airborne, because they're going back and forth. Let me just say this: I trust science over any man. Every scientist in the world is not against Trump, because put the scientists aside in America. Let's just put them to the side. What about the rest of the world's scientists? So we don't believe them either. They're all in cahoots to get Trump out of office. Every scientist in the world. See, that's the logic I use that made me from early on say, because at first, y'all, I was like, wait a minute now. They want us to wear a mask? You know how you first hear about something and you're like, what? And then when this fool came on and saying that it's only 15 cases, I'm gonna honestly sit here and say right away, I didn't wear a mask. Now my birthday is March 10th. So right around March is when we start hearing, okay, wait a minute, something is real. So my sister called me and she was like, Rochelle, no, this is real. Because see, my sister had time to watch everything and she was keeping me updated. And she was saying, you need to watch this. This shit is real. Also, my sister worked in a hospital for many years. She has a lot of friends that are nurses and doctors. And so she had been talking to them. So when my sister started stocking up food and shit, like we was living in Armageddon and ordering stuff off eBay and Amazon, I said, wait a minute, she's not normally scary. I'm the scary one. So when she called me and said, you need to put a mask on, and we cannot even go to her house. We literally, like, I have not seen my sister since March because she ain't playing. She is not, she ain't going nowhere. You can invite her. She is not playing. She not the only person she deals with that she's actually saying is her man. That's it. Other than that, she'll be like, pull up, leave whatever it is outside my gate. I'm not trying to die for y'all. She does have some underlying issues, so just like I do. So that's why I wear the mask. Now, as far as this COVID, y'all, think about it. If we get another 4 years with him, we already lost over 200 and something thousand people. 200 and something thousand people. And basically, he said that they were irrelevant because pretty much that statement he made about them, well, it's just some old people, which is not true because young and old are dying. He basically blew them off. And y'all, something else. Why haven't we had a national day of mourning for those people that have died from COVID. Now, I know that a lot of people don't believe the numbers. I do. I do believe them. Because what reason is it for them to lie, shut down shit? Some of y'all are my age, some of y'all are younger. Whatever age you are, think about it. When Obama was around and we had H1N1 and SARS and all of that, it wasn't bad to the point where they had to shut down shit, where we're working from home, that everybody that can work from home, they have been sent home, where they shut down schools for 6 months. Never in my 55 years on earth. And we done had other viruses that they told us were bad. But because we had presidents with sense and who listen to fucking science, unlike the twisted bastard we got in the White House, now it didn't get so bad where they had to do all of that. Yes, people did die. And I'm not negating that, but we never had 200 and something thousand people died and over 7 million people infected. And this is the last thing I'm going to tell y'all before I get out of here. I had interviewed for a job to be a contact tracer. See, at first, when I had heard about it, I thought that we were going to have to come into contact with these people. But when I started reading the job description, because I've been in healthcare, well, the health insurance field all these years, I like helping people. So I had said, well, maybe I can do this. It would be interesting, contacting people and, I now, and I'm gonna tell you why I decided not to do it. Contacting people and helping them through this COVID crisis. But when I found out that part of it was having to tell some people that you've come into contact and the response and that people are trying to get back to work, I just thought, I said, you know what, if the person busts out crying, y'all, I got a big old sloppy big heart, I would have been crying with them. They would have been like, well, are you from the health department and you crying like you one of my family members? I wouldn't have. I'm too emotional to be doing a job like that. I notice it when I do the job that I am. If someone calls in and they are, you know, they have cancer or they have one of those catastrophic illnesses and they going through shit and they break down crying, y'all, I've had to put people on the phone because even though I'm at work, I'm human. I've had family members that have died of cancer, and I know that it's a slow, painful death. And the person is calling you because something ain't being paid. They can't get their medication, and they're crying. How could you sit there? So I couldn't do that, but I got a friend who is doing it. Some of the stories that she told me about when she has had to call people and tell them that they have COVID and they don't believe her. One man, she told me a story about one man, and she said he was black and it was an older guy. And he had been going to this clinic for years. And I guess he's one of those old men that, you know how old folks speak they mind, y'all, and say what they want. They don't give a damn if it hurts your feelings. So he had a little reputation at this little healthcare center that he attends. They like, but then kind of don't like him because he, is a little, can be a little bit much. So when when she called him to tell him that he had COVID, he told her, and I thought this shit was funny, y'all. Y'all know I'm silly. Hold on, I gotta laugh first. He told her, fuck that shit. Them bitches at that health center, they don't like me, and them bitches done sent you a false report, y'all. But she was telling me, my friend is silly like I am. We just love to laugh. But she was telling me all this stuff this old man said. So she was telling him, you need to go through you need to go do this, you need to go do that, you need to tell me I'm not telling you a motherfucker thing. That's what he told her. She said he was like in his 70s, because I done told you more than once that I ain't got no fucking COVID. Them bitches are lying at me. I just went to my doctor. Now this is what she told him. Sir, the COVID test, you did a test at your doctor's, so it's coming from him. He did not believe her. So she just said she had to document, The man doesn't believe. She begged him not to go out the house, said, okay, could you just do me a favor? She said she asked him, do you have any plans in the next 3 days? Like, are you going anywhere? Because she was trying to tell him to stay in the house. He said that he had all kinds of plans. Fuck that. He going out. He don't give a fuck what nobody said. He'd be damned. He been on this earth 70 some years, and he'd be damned if tell anybody could tell him when he could leave and go. Y'all, I was rolling. See, I couldn't do those calls because, first of all, I'm silly. And if he would have been talking like that, I would not have been able to been professional. I probably would have been rolling. My friend on the other end she's very sweet and like, it probably would have shocked her. I would have been, if it had been me, I would have been rolling. He would have been like, are you sure you calling from the contract tracers? So y'all, I'm gonna get out of here because my job wore me out today. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I just wanted to say that we got a fool. We got a fool in the White House, and if we don't get out and vote, we can't play. And one last thing I wanted to say, I noticed that a lot of Black people are saying that they're not voting for Biden and Harris. And at first, when I saw it, I was like, you know what? This what happened back in 2016. Y'all, we only got two choices. And I remember saying this in 2016. Look what happened when we didn't vote. Look what we got. Look at this picture that I have on this slide of this idiot. Like, how stupid can you be to tell people to shine a light up their fucking asses and inject yourself with bleach? Come on, y'all. That's another time, y'all, that I was like, I was watching his uh, coronavirus little press briefings. I I'm sorry y'all not friends with me on Facebook. I can't be friends with all y'all because then y'all know too much about me. But I had folk rolling. I said, well, because none of my friends will watch, my friends and family won't watch him. So I'm reporting back to them what he said. I said, well, your fucking president done told you to get a UV light, bend over, and grab your fucking ankle so you can get your butt cheeks open wide as you can. Get a light and shine it up your ass and let the heat from it burn off the COVID. Then he said, if that don't work, go on up to the grocery store or the Dollar Tree because they sell bleach too. Get you a syringe, inject it into that bleach, and then shoot that shit in your fucking arm. I was rolling. And y'all, the funny part about it, I'd be damned if some white people ain't do that shit. Yo, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get out of here for real. When my son was little, he probably was one because he was a crawler. He was still kind of crawl walking. And I remember I was young, a little young lady. I had him at 22, so I was 23, and I was doing some laundry, y'all. And I had a little apartment size washer and dryer in this little area in my apartment. So I'm trying to do his laundry and all that. So the little place where I had it, I didn't have like a table. It was too small to put a table in to put my bleach, my uh, soap powder and all that in. So I would, pour some in there and then set it on the floor. Unbeknownst to me, my son had crawled into the room or walked into the room because he was about one, and he picked up the bleach and he took a big swig out of it. I guess he thought, because back then I wasn't buying the big bleaches like we buy now, the one that look like a half a gallon. So I probably had the little skinny bottle. So to him, it must have looked like a pop or something. When I tell y'all immediately, all this foam start coming out his mouth. Now, here's the thing. I didn't see him drink the bleach. The reason why I knew he drank it is because the foam that was coming out his mouth was smelling like bleach. Y'all, I was young. I didn't know what to do. I grabbed him. I ran out the house. My ex wasn't home. He was at work. It was just me and him in the house. I didn't think to call poison control. I was just a young girl. I just ran down the street screaming. And one of my older neighbors, um, foam covering me all over. Like literally, it was slimy. She saw me screaming. So she ran off her porch to say, "Baby, baby, what is?" She knew I was young and dumb. And I told her, I think my baby's drank some bleach. And so first of all, she slapped me in the back of my head, y'all. Like, what the fuck? Girl, you had bleach around, baby. You gotta watch her. You young mothers. But what she did is she hurried but rushed me in the house. She called 911. They sent an ambulance. All while we're in the ambulance, my son is foaming at the mouth. Literally, it was pouring out like just say you're pouring juice out of a pitcher, like a pitcher that you would make like some Kool-Aid in. That's how much foam was coming out of his mouth. It had covered my entire shirt. We get to the hospital. Of course, this is a baby. They rush him in, and this is what they did. They We sat there for a while, and I think he still was at that age where, how they take a bottle of milk in the evening. They're eating regular food, but you still give them milk. What they did is they gave him like a 4 ounce bottle of milk, and they told me to that I have to sit here and let him drink it slowly. Don't let him, like I guess guzzle it down, because that bleach had burnt the lining of his stomach, and it took, like, he would drink it because I guess he needed, because at first when they told me that, I thought his mouth was burning and he wouldn't drink it. I would have to make him drink it. But I guess his mouth was so slimy from the bleach that that milk was soothing, and that is exactly why they told me to give it to him. So after he drank the bleach, not the bleach, y'all, the damn milk, that's all they did. They monitored him for about an hour, and then they sent us home. Bleach will fuck you up. But what they did is they had me follow up with, his primary care physician. So my thing is this: those folks that shot themselves up with bleach, didn't they end up as y'all? This shit. We are living in the twilight zone, y'all. This is an episode, I believe, that I'm gonna wake up and we're gonna be in 2021, and all of this is gonna have been a nightmare. The president of the United States, and really, that's the first time I really actually referred to him as that, because I call him 45, like y'all do. The president of the United States got on television and told these simple motherfuckers to drink some bleach or shoot it, inject it, and they did it. How fucking stupid. I am not following nobody that close, y'all. If my mother told me to drink some bleach, I'd be like, oh, yeah, yeah, right. I wouldn't follow her blindly. If my siblings, nobody. So this makes me think that something about him is evil. Y'all know I've been posting stuff that we in the end, that we end of end times. This is end of our days. We live in, never before have I, when my mother and them used to say it, I used to be like, oh, now we living in our last days, now that we having fun out here trying to get our party on and dating all these single men out here. Now we got to be good because we living in our last days. But now, y'all, I'm starting to believe that, and it might be because I'm older, but I'm starting to believe, especially with this aberration that we got in the White House, son-in-law, address 666 Fifth Avenue. Ain't that a little ironic? Everybody around him brainwashed, believe every fucking thing he says. Who do that sound like? If he not of Satan, he's one of Satan's spawns or something. Everything about him. And then I'm really gonna get out of here. But here's something else, y'all. The day his punk ass walk out the White House, I hope all them agencies that he been raking over the coals the past few years, CIA, FBI, the military, I hope they waiting outside the White House for his crooked tax evading ass. Handcuff him, take him straight to jail, rip that piece of hair off the fucking top of his head, take his orange crayon from him, And he got the ultimate fucking comb over. I don't even know if it's a comb over, a comb back, a comb side, comb twisted. Look at that shit. Most y'all, I gotta stop. Most white men who start to lose their hair, they try to like comb it over. Trump is a comb over and then comb to the side. Like, and then he must spray the shit out of it. And then what the fuck makeup is he wearing? Is it made by Crayola? Because if his bitch ass, y'all can tell I grew up with brothers, if his bitch ass don't look oily, he need hold on, y'all. I'm sitting up here looking at my makeup. Y'all makeup girls, what is that we wear? Because I could be a little oily too. What is that we wear? A mattifying. His podcast needs a mattifying makeup with a shine degreaser. He need all of that because he looked oily. Now, something that I did notice yesterday, he wasn't sniffing because I had put on Facebook, was Sir Sniff a Lot gonna show up? Because remember when he debated with Hillary, y'all, he was like, every 5 minutes we was like, yeah, bruh. But he said that Biden was gonna be slow. I think that Biden did good considering what he was dealing with. He didn't get a chance to really answer anything. Final takeaway: if they debate again, Biden is gonna have to perk up a little bit. Keep calling him dumb. Biden needed. I would have fucking hammered him about his finances, y'all. He would have, by the time, see, they need somebody black. Y'all know we can play the dozen. I would have been like, as soon as I walked out, I would have been like, hey, heard you got some financial issues. I would have started there. I'd have been fucking with him all through the whole thing. Clink, clink, Donnie, clink, clink. Lock him up. I would have been fucking with him the whole time. I would have been, he would have been so mad. He'd have ran across that stage and I would have been like, look at his fuck ass. To show you that his father, look at him. He would have had to chase me all over the stage because I would have kept fucking with him because people like him, you got to disarm them. See, Trump, because he's been wallowing with filth, he knows how to play the game. He knows how to play the game. And he knows how to come back. You know, he got, I got to give it to him. He does get them with that. But they got to learn. They need some debate preppers that are black and that have a little, or some people with just a little hipper to bring it. Like when he say this, you need to come back with this, Biden. Don't let him have that. When he would have talked about my kids, y'all, black people, y'all know we don't play. When you start talking about our babies, I would have been like, hold up, partner. Let me just start with the oldest of your swine. And then I would have went, they would have had to cut my mic off because they would have went to commercial. It would have been another show on, and I would have still been talking about his kids. Because yes, Biden's kids have problems. But one thing I will say, another reason why I like him, after his first wife and daughter were killed, if I remember correctly, his sons were in the car. They just survived because his first wife, excuse me, y'all, was and his daughter were killed in an accident. And if I remember correctly, when Joe Biden was sworn in, he was at the bedside of one of his kids, one of his sons, one of these boys that Trump is talking about. And this second wife came in and, became mother. And because this is the only mother these boys ever had, they started calling her mom. I don't imagine how Biden felt standing there and his son is dead. Like, at the end of the day, Biden still is a person like us. And when he watched his son Bo die, now mind you, he done lost a wife, he done lost a daughter, he done been through all this stuff. And for this man to stand there and like dismiss his son's death, that was it for me. Because I could be talking to somebody, I could not like a person, y'all. But let something in there that somebody close to them die. begrudgingly, I will walk up to them, even though I don't like them, and at least say, I'm sorry for your loss and I'll pray for your family. Trump couldn't even give him that. And then we want another 4 years of this. So I'm going to end my video by saying this, y'all. Vote like your life depend on it. Now, I don't know about the ballots, the absentee ballots. Y'all, this is what I'm planning on doing. I'm gonna the where I vote at is a little elementary school. I figure like this. It's about 3 doors down from where I live. I'm gonna be up there when it open. I'm gonna be suited up like I'm going into space. I'm gonna probably come out and drench myself in sanitizer because they kept sending me this stuff about the absentee ballot, but because I never did it, my mother does it all the time, but because I never did it, I just don't trust it, not with him in office. Okay, that's the only reason why I say I'm gonna take a chance and I'm gonna go up there. I'm just gonna be there. If they open at 6, I'm planning on being there at 5. It's probably gonna be people there too. But I'm standing in line. I'm gonna have to tell my job. I'm gonna be like, fuck y'all. Y'all need to make this a national holiday if you expect us to vote. But I'm not getting out of line until I vote. If white people show up, y'all, now keep this in mind what I'm saying. Y'all know I'm stupid. Y'all know I'm silly. If they show up, I'm gonna be filming that shit live. I'm gonna come live on YouTube, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have to talk in code, y'all, because we can't be saying shit in front of them, because they one banana peel away from losing their fucking minds and fucking people up. So if I come on and I'm talking, speaking kind of where y'all like, what is this bitch talking about? Then y'all know, and it's November 3rd, y'all know what's going on. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna say something like, reporting to you live from such and such school, and then I'm just going to pan the room with my camera. And y'all need to do it too. If you see some stuff that's crazy, because basically he told them to go to the polls and they're supposed to watch us. The fuck? What the fuck? With that, y'all, I got to get out of here because my stomach from being hungry is hurting so bad that I got to go. I only ate a turkey sandwich today, and that turkey sandwich is like I need some friends in here. It's lonely. So y'all take care. Thanks for stopping by. I know this was all over the place, and this probably was not what y'all expected for a review of a debate. But I just got to do it black girl style, y'all. I can't be all technical because, first of all, I don't even know the names of all that shit. I just know what I saw, and the shit ain't right. And we got a demon in the White House. So y'all stay safe. And next week we gonna talk about Kamala because I know she gonna come with it, but she dealing with Trump look like Pence. Y'all know the Adams family? Don't he look like what was not was it Uncle Fester? What was the other uncle? Lurch. He looks like Lurch. He looked like a handsome Lurch. Only reason why I'm saying handsome is because y'all know Lurch looked dead. So at least Pence is alive. But pull up a picture when I log off and look at I think his name was Lurch of the Adams family, the old Adams family. And tell me don't Pence look like him. Y'all, I gotta get out of here and go eat. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe. See y'all in the next one. Bye-bye now.